The scenario of having a classroom with different kinds of students is not new in the Philippine education. It has always been a challenge on the teacher's part on how to deal with the different learning preferences of the students. That is the reason why differentiated instruction is of much value in today's education. Thus, the study Level of Understanding and Implementation of Differentiated Instruction of Teachers was conducted in 2017. I am Eileen Igaramonte, currently affiliated at Dolores National High School, DepEd Pampanga. Differentiated instruction is the response of the teachers to the varying needs of the learners, which is guided by the principles such as respectful tasks, flexible grouping, and ongoing assessment and adjustment. Teachers can differentiate content, process, and product according to the readiness, interest, and learning profile of the students. Thus, under DepEd Order Number 42 Series 2016, teachers are encouraged to make use differentiated instruction. This study aimed to answer 5 specific questions. Number 1, how may the profile of the respondents be described in terms of the following? How may the level of understanding of teachers regarding the components of differentiated instruction be described in terms of the following? How often do teachers implement the components of differentiated instruction? What are the problems encountered in the implementation of differentiated instruction? And lastly, what professional development activity may be proposed to improve the implementation of differentiated instruction? For the methods and materials, the respondents of the study were chosen using total enumeration of the 79 junior high school English teachers in the 12 public secondary schools in Cluster 1 of Division of Pampanga. The study made use of a descriptive survey method of research, and for the measurement, an adopted questionnaire in the study of Hobson in 2008 was used, and informal interviews were conducted to be able to create a checklist on the problems encountered in the implementation of differentiated instruction. For the data and analysis, frequency and percentage distribution were used. For the results and discussion, Table 2.1 shows the level of understanding in terms of general differentiation. You may refer to the given legend so you will be guided. The table only shows that the teachers understand the meaning of general differentiation and are at ease in doing it, since most of the activities in the learning modules require their knowledge on students' profile. Table 2.2 shows the level of understanding in terms of content differentiation. So, it is shown that in general, most of the junior high school English teachers understand content differentiation and feel comfortable doing it. Table 2.3 in terms of process differentiation. The table shows that teachers need more training in using learning contracts, since it is rarely found in the DepEd learning modules, and curriculum compacting, since it is rarely applied because a standardized test is coming from DepEd Pampanga every quarter. Table 2.4 in terms of product differentiation. In general, majority of the teachers understand product differentiation and feel competent doing it. Table 2.5, understanding in terms of instructional or management strategies. This means that teachers understand independent study and feel comfortable doing it, since this is applied in the DepEd learning modules. Table 3.1, frequency of implementation in terms of general differentiation. In general, most of the teachers responded to have implemented general differentiation more than half the time. Table 3.2, frequency of implementation in terms of content. This implies that teachers follow and make use of the required DepEd curriculum. Table 3.3, frequency of implementation for process. This means that teachers do not often use learning contracts, since it is rarely found in the DepEd learning modules, and curriculum compacting, since they are required to follow the learning module because a standardized test is coming from DepEd Pampanga every quarter. Table 3.4, frequency of implementation in terms of product differentiation. This means that in giving product assignments, teachers consider students' readiness, interest, and learning profile, but still follow and make use of the competencies required in the DepEd learning module. Table 3.5, frequency of implementation for instructional or management strategies. This only implies that teachers do not often use curriculum compacting, since they are required to follow the learning module because a standardized test is coming from DepEd Pampanga every quarter. Table 4.1, problems encountered for content differentiation. The table highlighted the problem in the respondents' use of video clips to present the lesson, or the what we call film viewing. Table 4.2, problems encountered in the implementation of differentiated instruction in terms of process. It shows that writing tasks found in the module are beyond the capacity of the students, which highlighted the problem which was encountered by 77.22% of the respondents. Table 4.3, problems encountered in implementation of differentiated instruction in terms of product. This implies that the teachers find it difficult to apply products which require the use of technology, since most of the students do not have the learning resources. Table 5, the main summary of the respondents' level of understanding and frequency of implementation of the components of differentiated instruction. So as the table shows, general differentiation highlighted the highest mean frequency and percentage both in the level of understanding and frequency of implementation. However, in instructional or management strategies, teachers responded, "I feel somewhat comfortable doing this, but I need more information and or practice," as they assess their level of understanding. And for the frequency of implementation, sometimes or less than half the time. Now, for the conclusion and recommendation, number 1, based on the responses in most of the concepts, teachers understand what general content, process, and product differentiation mean and feel comfortable or competent doing them. However, in most of the concepts in instructional or management strategies, they feel somewhat comfortable doing them, but they need more information and or practice. For the recommendation, DepEd Division of Pampanga should conduct a seminar about the components of differentiated instruction to deepen teachers' understanding of the concepts, especially on instructional or management strategies. Number 2, in most of the concepts, teachers reported that they have frequently implemented general content, process, and product differentiation. However, they implement instructional or management strategies less than half the time. So, it is recommended that head teachers and principals should conduct regular classroom observations to ensure the implementation of the components of differentiated instruction. Lastly, students find it hard to understand the accent of the actors and actresses in the movie, especially if they come from other countries. Writing tasks found in a module are beyond the capacity of the students, and it is too expensive on the part of the students because most of the students do not have printers at home, are the problems that teachers mostly encounter in the implementation of content, process, and product differentiation. Teachers should be encouraged to use other references and resources as well as apply the concepts of localization, so problems in the implementation of the components of differentiated instruction will be lessened. So the following are the references used in the study.